right. Good evening, everyone. This is a meeting of the Tinton Falls Borough Council being held February 15th, 2022. This meeting is hereby called to order. Would the clerk please read the open public meeting statement?
Pursuant to Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by posting on the bulletin board at Borough Hall and by notification to the Asbury Park Press, the Newark Star Ledger, and the New Coaster at least 48 hours prior to the meeting and filing with the Borough Clerk all on January 4th, 2022.
Thank you. May I ask the clerk to call the roll?
Mrs. Clay?
Here.
Dr. Dobrin?
Here.
Mr. Manginelli?
Here.
Mr. Nessie?
Here.
Ms. Buckley?
Here. At this time, I'd like to invite everyone to join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. There are two sets of meeting minutes for approval this evening. May I have a motion to approve the December 21st, 2021 regular and executive session meeting minutes?
Motion. Second.
Thank you. Mr. Nessie for the first, Mr. Manginelli for the second. May I have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Clay?
Yes.
Dr. Dobrin?
Yes.
Mr. Manginelli?
Abstain.
Mr. Nessie?
Yes.
Ms. Buckley?
Yes. Now we'll move on to reports. And Mr. Neff is absent this evening, so we'll start with Mr. Fallon, our CFO and acting BA.
Yeah, thank you, and good evening, Council President, Council. Just really quick comment on Resolution 22-066. That's a resolution approving the 2021 LOSAP certification list for our volunteer EMS squads, north and south. And I want to point out how impressive it is if you look at the backup for those qualifications, the amount of time that these volunteers really put in. There's volunteers that have responded to as many as 400 or 500 incidences during the year, and it really is just so impressive. So just really wanted to use this moment to thank all the EMS volunteers, north and south, those that qualified for the contribution, and those that didn't. We really appreciate all their service to the borough. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fallon. Well said. Mayor Perillo, do you have a report this evening?
No, not really. I just hope all goes well during this meeting. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Starkey, our Director of Law.
No, I do not have a report this evening. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Ms. Hutchinson, our Borough Clerk.
I don't have a report. I just wanted to let everyone know that the petition packets for the upcoming county committee election to be held in June are available in the clerk's office. The deadline for petition submissions is April 4th, 2022 at 4 p.m. And you can please contact the Borough Clerk's office at boroughclerksoffice@tintonfalls.com with any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hutchinson. Now we'll move on to council reports, and we'll start with Mrs. Clay.
Thank you, Council President. I don't have a report this evening, but I would like to second or echo the comment made by Mr. Fallon regarding our EMS. We have an outstanding EMS north and south. Both units are wonderful, and being that our EMS is volunteer, they really deserve a moment of our recognition. Also, I'd like to congratulate Donna and Richard Yu on their retirements, and I wish them well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Clay. Dr. Dobrin, if you report this evening.
I don't have a report this evening, but again, what Risa had mentioned about the EMS, excellent. And they always respond quickly, and the end result is wonderful. So thanks to them and all the volunteers that are part of that EMS squad.
Thank you, Dr.
That's
Dobrin.
all. Thank you.
Mr. Manginelli, you report.
Yes, I do. On Thursday night, the Board of Zoning Adjustment, approved a development called Ironwork Crossing. It consists of 90 townhomes and 17 affordable homes. It's on the border of Neptune. and it's located between Locust Cross Road and Hobchild Boulevard. There was a couple of variances that were approved, and that construction should start soon. I did not attend the Historic Preservation meeting last night because it was Valentine's Day and I had some other priorities. But they published their minutes, and they're having a number of great events this year. It's available if you want to look it up, because they have some very interesting things going on. They're a very dedicated group, and I suggest you participate in some of their activities. They're going to be redoing the porch on the Crawford House, which was in pretty bad shape. They've got a grant to do that. So it's really a nice place. I think the residents should take a look at it. That's all I have tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Manginelli. Mr. Nessie?
Thank you, Council President, and good evening, everybody. No report for Planning Board, and no date for the next meeting. The Chicken Advisory Board, our first meeting is tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock downstairs. We're all excited, and I'll have more to report back for our next meeting. And the Rec Department, there's some information. The Recreation Department is finalizing the winter programs. Wrestling was a great first-year program, and basketball program will be completed early March, having a great participation level for boys and girls, kindergarten through 8th grade. Special thanks to all of our coaches for their support and dedication, the Tinton Falls Board of Ed Administration, and the Moesk School Administration for their support and sharing their facilities with Tinton Falls. We're looking forward to spring activities, working with the Little League as they have just completed registration for the baseball and softball for boys and girls age 7 and up. The Tinton Falls Rec will have the T-ball program registration available within the next couple of weeks, offering T-ball team play and pre-ball for boys and girls ages 5 through 7. We will also continue our kids' art classes and Snapology STEM programs. Many calls have been received for our summer program, and yes, the Rec Department will be offering a 5-week program this summer scheduled to begin July 11th. We are in the early stages of planning and organizing. We are looking forward to offering a great program filled with lots of activities. Sign up for our email distribution on the Community Pass registration program. Details on the Borough website under Recreation Department, along with our Facebook page. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Nessie. And for my report, I'd like to congratulate the Historic Commission on receiving the award for their signage grant. As Mr. Manginelli had alluded to, congratulations to Stacy and the whole Historic Commission. That was a great, awesome achievement on that grant. Our next Tinton Falls Environmental Commission meeting is next week, February 24th. I believe it's going to be via WebEx, and there's potential things, some like ANJAC grants and webinars coming up that are, if anyone is interested in attending, that's next Thursday. And the information is posted on the website. I'd like to congratulate Don and Richard Huey on their retirements. Thank you for their many years of and decades of service to the Borough of Tinton Falls. And also like to echo the congratulations to the EMS and thanks for their volunteer service. Finally, the next FMARA meeting, Fort Monmouth Economic Revitalization Authority meeting, is tomorrow at 5 p.m. There is a Tinton Falls related item on there. So if anyone reads the board package, just so you understand what it is, it's related to phase 1A of the what will be the Robert Wood Johnson facility, basically right across the street here at the old Meyer Center parcel. And what the amendment basically does, the redevelopers agreement amendment basically does, is there was going to be 2 buildings that make up an ambulatory cancer center, and they're kind of putting them together into one building. Overall, no square footage difference, it's just the footprint will be slightly smaller, and this came out of preliminary engineering reviews of the original plan amendment. So that's on for tomorrow night. And I believe that concludes my report this evening. Now we move on to ordinances for introduction. There's one ordinance on for introduction this evening. I'd like to remind the public that when an ordinance is introduced, there's no public discussion. The public discussion for the following ordinance will take place when it's up for final consideration. With that, may I ask the clerk to read the title of the ordinance?
2022-1484, an ordinance amending Chapter 40, Section 4 of the Borough Code entitled Definitions and creating a new section of the Borough Code, Chapter 40, Section 33, D17, entitled Electric Vehicle Supply Service Equipment, EVSE, and Make-Ready Parking Spaces. The public hearing will be held on March 1st, 2022 for this ordinance.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the introduction of this ordinance?
Motion.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second?
Thank you, Dr. Dobrin. May I have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Clay?
Yes.
Dr. Dobrin?
Yes.
Mr. Manginelli?
Yes.
Mr. Nesty?
Yes.
Ms. Buckley?
Yes. Thank you. Now we'll move on to ordinances for final consideration, of which there are 2 this evening. We will hold a public hearing on each ordinance with comments being limited to 3 minutes. Comments may only pertain to the particular ordinance. May I ask the clerk to read the title of the first ordinance?
2022-1482, an ordinance amending Section 2-12.1 G3 of the Borough Code governing off-duty rates for the police department.
Thank you. May I have a motion to open the public discussion on this ordinance?
Motion.
Second?
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Is there anyone from the public that would like to comment on this particular ordinance? Please remember to state your name and address for the record and limit your comments to 3 minutes. Okay, I don't see anything. Were there any written comments related to the ordinance, Michelle?
No, I did not receive any.
Okay, thank you. May I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
Thanks. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Are there any council members that would like to comment on this ordinance? Okay, hearing none. May I have a motion for adoption?
Motion.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second?
Thank you. May I have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Clay?
Yes.
Dr. Dobrin?
Yes.
Mr. Nessie?
Yes.
Mr. Manginelli?
Yes.
Ms. Buckley?
Yes. May I ask the clerk to read the title of the next ordinance?
2022-1483, an ordinance setting salaries for department heads, statutory employees, mayor, and council.
Thank you. May I have a motion to open the public discussion on this ordinance?
Motion.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone from the public that would like to comment? Please remember to state your name and address for the record. Okay. May I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second?
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Are there any council members that would like to comment on this ordinance? Okay. Seeing none, may I have a motion for adoption?
Motion.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
Heard Mr. Manginelli first, so we'll go with that. May I have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Clay?
Yes.
Dr. Dobrin?
Yes.
Mr. Nessie?
Yes.
Mr. Manginelli?
Yes.
Ms. Buckley?
Yes. Now we're moving on to the open public discussion. May I have a motion to open the public discussion?
Motion?
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
This is the time the public may comment on any topic of their choice. Please state your name and address for the record and limit your comments to 3 minutes. Is there anyone from the public that would like to comment this evening? Yes, Ms. Goldberg.
Good evening, Ellen Goldberg, 90 Glenwood Drive. First of all, I haven't been able to make the last couple council meetings, and I just wanted to congratulate the DPW for an excellent job during the snowstorm, the last snowstorm. They just are amazing. I'm just so impressed with how our DPW handles the cleaning up of the streets, and whether it's snow, debris, the leaves and the branches. I just want to say thank you and tell them how much I appreciate it. And I do hear it from other people, and you know how most often you hear the negative comments, but you don't hear positive. So I like to make sure that they hear some positive too. The second reason I'm here is to, again, promote the Tinton Falls Library fundraiser. Our children's fashion show is rolling right along. We have somewhere in the vicinity of over 30 models that have signed up, a lot more girls than boys. We've closed the girl models out. We have a waiting list, but the boys, still looking for a few more. So if there are kindergarten through 5th graders, boys that are interested, please get in contact with me. It is on April 2nd. It's at Atchison School. And not only are we going to have amazing models who are going to be showing off their style from the Gap, but we also are going to have a silent auction. We have food for sale. We have our bricks. In case anyone doesn't know, we're going to be selling bricks that are going to be placed outside the library, and you can have anything you want placed, engraved on those bricks. So you can look for that fundraiser. And I also want to encourage anyone who is here or listening that we are looking for sponsors, we are looking for donors, and we are looking for volunteers. And you can go to the Tinton Falls website, the tintonfallslibrary.com website, and you can email or message us and let us know that we can count on you for one of those things. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Goldberg. Are there any other comments? Okay. Michelle, were there any written public comments submitted?
No, I did not receive any.
All right, thank you. Hearing no further comments, may I have a motion to close the public discussion?
Motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you for the second motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Miscellaneous business, does any member of council have anything to add that they didn't cover in reports? Okay. Seeing none, before we move on to the consent agenda, are there any items any member of council would like removed to be voted upon separately? All right, seeing none, may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
Okay, I heard Mr. Nessie first. May I have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Clay?
Yes.
Dr. Dobrin?
Yes.
Mr. Manginelli?
Yes.
Mr. Nessie?
Yes.
Ms. Buckley?
Yes. There is no executive session or workshop this evening, so this concludes today's business. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Dobrin. All in favor?
Aye.
Great. This meeting is now adjourned at 7:48 PM. I think that's a record. Good night, everybody.
That's a record. Thank you.